Right. We have Virginia Fuller joining with us. Virginia, go ahead and do an introduction. Tell us who you are. You're a delegate, and tell us what state you're representing, what you're doing, and how things are going.
Good afternoon, Mark, and thank you for inviting me on your show. My name is Virginia Fuller, and in the past, I ran for Congress in the state of California. I now have been living in Florida for the past 5 years. I also had a shot at running. I was not successful because the gerrymandering, the district was very much favoring the Democrats.
Of course.
But most recently, I decided that I wasn't going to run for public office per se, but I did decide to be part of the process, and I am now a member of the Central Committee here in Leon County, which is mainly Tallahassee area.
And by the way, Donald Trump was just down there today, by the way. He was down there for a rally. Did you see that? He was down there for a rally.
Unfortunately, I did the night shift last night, so most of the day I slept until my alarm woke up because he had an appointment to appear on your show. I had all intentions to go. You know who is here? It's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in a different city, but Mike Pence is in Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I want to go there, but it starts at 6:30. I'm sure there is a line there, and I have to be at work at 7 p.m., so I won't be able to.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's just going to. The tickets are sold out anyway, by the way. It's sold out. They're expecting 80,000 people at this rally tonight. So I just want you to know that they're expecting 80,000 people at this rally. He already had one with over 40,000 people. His rallies are carrying anywhere between 30 to 40,000 people on average now. That's what he's doing, and he's only talking for 40 minutes, not for a full hour, because he's just go right now. Is what he is. He's just going. He's his campaign manager says he is exactly the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. Well, he is the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. He really is. He's out there. I mean, where's Joe Biden? He's only done 2 rallies so far, and only 300 people showed up per rally, not thousands, not in the thousands, nowhere near of what Trump has. So Trump has a great base, and he also, as you know, the last debate, Joe Biden plugs lied 10 times, 10 times. One on the economy, another one on the climate change, another one on fossil fuels, fracking, national security. Remember, he said he did not put kids in cages. Well, he did that in 2014. And then a member Pigs in a Blanket. Remember that? That was 2013 with Black Lives Matter. He was in charge of that. I mean, the border situation, catch and release. Fast and Furious, he's sequester. I mean, he's got a lot of answer stuff. There's a lot of questions still answered besides the laptop from hell. He really does. He's got a lot of explaining to do about Hunter Biden's email with dealing with the Russians, dealing with Ukraine, dealing with Iran, North Korea, and our friends in Turkey and Syria, and Afghanistan, El Salvador, Venezuela, Singapore. I mean, he's got a lot of answers. He's got more questions than answers, and I don't see. And I don't see any of this on the media mob. I don't see this at all whatsoever. Go ahead, Virginia.
Well, what I want to say about that, yes, he has a lot of answering to do, but we should not be too concerned about that. That's the job of our legislators, Congress and the Senate. They need to get to work. The people that we should be concerned about and encourage Trump to take immediate action is what the FBI again tried to sweep under the rug,
Yep.
and keep it from the American people. The Ray should immediately be called in front of Congress, in front of the president, with his lawyers, with Bill Barr present, and he needs to answer questions. He has had this information for almost a year, and he sat on it. Do you know how much could have happened, how many things could have changed had this had come out a year ago? Joe Biden would not have been the presidential running candidate right now. It would have been Bernie Sanders. And yet again, they are lying. They're keeping the truth from the American people, and we need to hold them accountable. So let Congress do their job and deal with Joe Biden. The Senate can impeach him, but hey, Trump has to get to work even harder and clean house. All these people in the FBI, the Rays and the Clappers, the Comeys, these people are still walking free. Some of them are still in office.
Yeah, I know.
We have to tell our president, hey, you should not be afraid just because we are close to an election. We are proud of him, and we want him to remain strong and be undeterred of the consequences, because we are not afraid for him to lose the election. We will stand by him.
Yeah.
So that is my take on this. This is ridiculous. This is so scandalous. What we are being asked to not to see and forced not to see by all these blackouts and boycotts and being blocked on social media. It almost doesn't sound like America anymore.
No, it sounds very socialist, and this is exactly the problem with the media mob, the social media, like you mentioned, Google, Facebook, Twitter. They're going to face a lot. They're going to face the firing squad this coming week when they meet the Oversight Committee this coming Tuesday. So they're going to have a meeting with the Senate Oversight Committee. This should be interesting because they've got all subpoena. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google. That's Twitter, Facebook, Google, and YouTube. Have all four of them are now facing a firing squad with Jeff Bezos with Amazon, by the way. So it's just great. It's wonderful to see this. It's finally coming to a head. It's way overdue. And I just want to let you know, too, Nancy Pelosi did say that the incumbent of all the ballots goes to Donald Trump's favor, we will have another impeachment hearing starting November 4th, and it'll end December 8th this coming year. What do you say to this? Another impeachment for Donald Trump after he gets after the ballots come in and he's become the nominee of the president once again. The nominee, because he hasn't been confirmed yet, because he doesn't get confirmed until January. And so, but he still be the nominee. But because he's the nominee, they're going to want to do an impeachment. What do you say to this? What do you say?
I think she's deranged. These people are sick, and it's sad that we feel so powerless, so helpless. We would want to see our people, the elected Republicans, put an end to that. They don't have to sit and take it. Yes, we are being blocked and not getting the visibility that the Democrats are getting, but we have our own outlets. I mean, even if Trump calls a rally, look how many of us show up. There is a lot the Republicans can do to get the issues before the American people. So I'm not sure, even if she calls for an impeachment, is there enough time to affect the outcome? I doubt it. But it is what I would call harassment.
Yeah.
And I wish somebody, all those bright legal minds in Washington, would have a solution.
Well, the problem is, though, all these called PACs, and then you got these lobbyists. like George Soros running the Democrat Party right now. George Soros, Bill Gates, and you have George Bezos, you have Mark Zuckerberg, you have Jack Dorsey from Twitter. I mean, this is a problem. This is a big problem, and we need.
Okay, look, Mark, the Congress has the power to give special privileges, to write laws. They gave the social media that became giants now, they give them immunity from the lawsuit. What is taking them so long to get together again and repeal that privilege?
Right.
You know, if
Exactly.
they do away with that, just watch how people will fall in line and observe our constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
that's
point.
what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I jumped into the race, because I had issues. As you know, I ran a nursing home for 10 years in California. I was boycotted constantly during that time. I shared my documentary with you, which is While the Villagers Sleep. It's a story of what happens to a black woman who is the only provider in a large region in Northern California near San Francisco. The children had no resources that would take them in after their discharge from the hospital. I was a nursing home, an extended care home for children, and my home went vacant for 3 years while there were children dying in substandard care. There was a non-minority that had also set up similar homes. He set up 7 homes and maintained a waiting list each time he was ready to open up a home. He had a waiting list while my could not get the admissions to one child.
Wow.
And this issue I brought to the attention of Kamala Harris. She was at that time the Attorney General of California,
right,
before she became a senator. And I met with her. I went to one of her fundraisers. I gave a little money. And she never had this passion about fighting for American families. Now she talks about children that need to be reunited with
equal
their
quality.
family. She has all the passion for illegal children. She didn't care about what happened to my family while we were struggling to keep food on the table and still be in compliance with all the licensing law of running a licensed nursing home for children. Nobody cared. And that's why I'm hoping that people will know that, especially black Americans, the Democrats don't care about your race. They don't care about the fact that you're black and that you have suffered. They're using us as a pawn.
Yep.
And they can't stand blacks that can think for themselves, or blacks who want to be independent and provide for themselves, not be on government assistance or waiting on a handout. So people like me who are independent and want to fight for our civil rights, we get shunned, we get ignored. She never came to my aid. You know, my family fell apart, but she's fighting for illegal families.
Yeah.
So I think she's a fraud. Obviously,
she's a racist too.
Very low moral qualms. She slapped her way to the top of a political height. So I don't have much respect for her.
Yeah.
And none of them, not Barbara Lee, who is also black, Diane Watson, at the time she was a representative in the state of California, those people don't care. If you don't meet their need, which is being a number for their political campaigns or using us as props for their race baiting campaign, they have no value, no use for us. And I'm hoping that black people will wake up. President Trump has done so much to improve the lives of many people, including blacks. The man is
and Asian too.
The
Asian
the
community.
interests of black people. He wants us to be part of the American dream and not just live in ghettos. He is fighting for school choice. The biggest menace that the Democrats are doing to the black community is to keep us uninformed. And if you can keep our children in public schools where they are a captive audience and being indoctrinated to hate your country, to hate the president, what are you going to get? You're going to get adults who are disenfranchised. You can never see the good in the next person, in particular if they're white or if they are police officers. Didn't Kamala Harris say that she expects these riots to go on even after the election, and that she supports these riots, that they shouldn't end?
Yeah, I know. And they're getting money for those riots too. They're funding them.
It's sick.
Yeah, that is it's evil is what it is. They're funding these terrorists who are, I call them terrorists, but they are. They're menace. They are terrorists. That's what Donald Trump said. They're a menace. They are destructive. They are domestic domestic terrorism. And sanctuary cities are doing nothing about this. Look at Portland. Look what's going on in New York, by the way. Look what's going on in California. Look what's going on in Seattle. Sanctuary cities, they do not work. They fail. And when you have more government versus freedom, you're going to get more of this kind of chaos. This is exactly what we're having. And the media mob is guilty because they're out there for supporting it. They're not out there defending our law enforcement. Again, they're not out there defending our law enforcement. They're using them to get their cause to promote violence. That's exactly what they're doing. It's big pack money from George Soros, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey from Twitter, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. You got Google, you got YouTube, and you got also Jeff Bezos from Amazon. There you go. And you got Obama too, who's now the CEO of Netflix, by the way. He's now in charge of Netflix. And President, the Obama regime is now the CEO of Netflix. I want to get that. I want to make sure you understand that. The CEO of Netflix is now Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Yuck. So there you go. So, and he's a vice president of Netflix. Michelle, ring my golden cowbell goes, Obama. Yuck.
And the irony of this all is, if they're doing all this for the sake of the black community, the black victims of police violence, but they're allowing black businesses, because they are mostly rioting in black communities.
That's right.
And you're destroying black businesses. How ironic, how cynical. This is the biggest fraud, and if black Americans can't see that, I'm afraid that perhaps there is no hope for them. But I do believe that if we can take back the educational system, maybe this generation, the older generation, we have lost. But if we start now taking back our school system, allowing parents to opt out of public school and support them with vouchers and grants to put their children in private school, I think we can turn back the hands of time.
Yeah.
Going forward.
This is why all lives matter. This is why I really do care, because I have I have people from the Asian community on this program. I have had African Americans on this program, black people. I have had everybody. Vietnamese, you name it. I love them all. I love everybody. I treat everybody with open arms here. That's what I do here. I don't attack anybody. The only time I attack them is when they attack me. But other than that, though, it's neutral. And that's what I do here. I let the guests speak. I don't interrupt the guests. I let the guests talk about what they want to talk about. and without any interruptions here. Why can't fake news do this? Well, because now why? Because they're being bought and paid for by George Soros, George Stephanopoulos, and you got social media. You got Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and YouTube right now. I mean, that's what the problem is. Big time problems.
Yeah, it's a big problem, and our elected officials, especially Republicans, they need to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
You can't imagine how fortunately we are that we have a man in office who is not afraid to stand up for the truth and is willing to fight for the truth. If it was anybody else, they would have succumbed to pressure already and given up, or maybe even joined the swamp.
Right, I know. That's a problem.
Swamp, and therefore he needs our utmost respect and all the support that we can muster. We need to put behind him.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll take mom to the bathroom in a second here. I gotta go, Virginia. I gotta take care of my mom right now, so I gotta let you go. But thank you so much for your time, Virginia.
You're very welcome. You take care and best of luck to you.
You too. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know you're also a personal caregiver too as well. It's really cool. So you actually do what I'm doing. It's just really neat. So yeah, yes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you, Mark.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.